Kelly's ring. It was a cold day in winter. All the leaves were gone from the trees and the wind was blowing hard that people walked busily, grasping the winter coat. The street was busy with people coming for Christmas shopping and the stores were decorated with lights. A woman named Kelly Chambers was at work in an Italian toast restaurant in the busy street in California. She had long blonde hair and blue eyes. She wasn't that tall but not short either. Her job was to clean up the trash and wash the dishes. She was always frustrated from her boring work. Kelly decided to work there as a waitress, but since the other workers didn't trust her from breaking the dishes and forgetting the order, she was made to do all the work which everyone didn't want to do. As usual, she went to the restroom to clean the garbage. While she was washing the sink, she thought her ring might get dirty. She took it off and put it next to it. The ring was really important to her because it was given to her by her husband, Richard Chambers. It had only been a year since they were married and they loved each other very much. Richard worked as a chef and he taught Kelly how to cook and wanted to open a restaurant together. That was their dream. She finished cleaning and gave the trash back to the trash man. She went back to the restroom to check if it was clean enough. Then she realized her ring was gone. She turned pale. She asked the worker who was washing the dishes, "Do you know where my ring is? Have you seen it?" However, the worker didn't say anything, but shook his head and got back to his work. She wanted to ask the other workers, but all of them turned away from her, so she didn't have any chance. She thought she must have put it in the garbage bag with the trash. She rooted through the tangled up hair and toast and eggshells in the garbage bag. Then she heard an engine starting. She went outside and saw the truck driving away. She started running after the truck and shouted, "Wait, please wait." But the truck didn't stop. She ran, but the truck drove further and further away. Kelly's knees started bleeding as she fell over 3 times. She was tired and stopped at the middle of the street. She was breathing heavily. She looked at the truck until it was out of her sight. She was depressed. She looked blank for a while, then thought about her husband, who gave her the ring. She felt guilty imagining him looking sad to hear the news. She started crying as she walked back to the restaurant, but what she really wanted to do was quit her job. When she came back to the restaurant, she saw her terrible face reflected in the mirror. Kelly didn't want all the customers to see her looking like that, so she ran into the restroom. She stood there not knowing what to do. She put on her makeup and went out to the dishes. Crack. She heard something hard cracked under her foot. She carefully lifted her foot and saw her diamond ring shattered into many pieces. She couldn't say anything. She called her husband, but instead of hearing Richard's voice, she heard a woman's voice say, "Hello?" She thought she had called the wrong number, so she said sorry and hung up. She tried once more. Then she heard the same woman's voice answering, "Hello?" She was confused and asked, "Who am I calling? Is Richard Chambers there?" Yes, he is. Hold on for a second, please," she said quietly. Kelly was so confused that all she could was to wait for Richard. A few seconds later, Richard was on the phone. "Hey, what's up?" she said, like nothing was wrong. It's hard to say, but I broke my diamond ring. Sorry." "But who was that woman who answered the phone? How come she's at our house?" yelled Kelly. "Oh, she's nothing really," said Richard, but Kelly could tell he was lying. "Richard, I know you lying. Just tell me," said Kelly with irritation. Then Richard told her about the relationship with that woman. Kelly couldn't forgive him, so she told him that she wants to get divorced. They had some arguments about this, but finally Richard said, "Fine, I wanted to break up with you in the first place. Oh, I want to tell you something. That diamond ring that you broke was totally a fake one. I'm sorry, but sucks for you." Kelly hung up the phone.